Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to year 2 of KPW. Welcome to War Zone Anniversary. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And tonight we have a special card to bring to you, as we will be seeing plenty of singles action here to come tonight from the Kumite Coliseum, as we see one half of the KPW Tag Team Champions, the Misfit Bob, take on the Pitbull K-Dog in singles action. We'll also be seeing the First Nation, Slarty and Shuko, team up against the Connection, Jim Ross, the Sauce, in tag team action later on tonight. Also to come, we'll be seeing the new KPW Twitch champion, Popcorn Poppy, in action against Greek Machismo, Nick Flawless. And also still to come, a Hoss fight as the Woolly Mammoth, Big Bernard, takes on the Scrapyard Saint solo. It was yet to be a surefire, heavy-hitting bout for the ages. But to open up tonight's set of business, we'll be hearing from the Viceroy, our reigning, defending World Heavyweight Champion, Jedi. Hot off the heels of an enormous victory last night at Spring Stampede, the Viceroy Jedi carving out his legacy here in KPW the only way he knows how, by running it all. This man's put in the work as our world heavyweight champion for the past 5 months. You don't have to agree with the way that he handles his business, but it produces results. And I think the Kumite faithful have come to respect that.
You know, I never thought I would say this in the middle of this ring, but thank you. The past 5 months, man. Going up and down the road with all the pressure of being on top of the wrestling world. Having to face all that unnecessary adversity thanks to that snake Robbie Deuce. When I told the world that I came here to run it all, I would have never expected that I would have to run through that bastard too. So let me say this once and one time only. If you stood by my side through all the slander and smearing I was put through, if you believed in me that I could run it all and get the job done by myself, I fight for you from here on out. For the rest of you that ever doubted me and jumped on the bandwagon until you realized you backed a pony with a limp leg, you all can suck my dick. Now the Viceroy is gonna need another challenger now that Spring Stampede is behind us. April 26th, Riot Act. Who wants to plead their case against the greatest world heavyweight champion that ever lived?
Jedi just throwing down the open challenge, laying his arms out and ready to go here. And what is this? We're getting one hell of an answer here. It's the Boise Boys. As 2 men walking down to the ring to approach the Viceroy. Do they both want the smoke with the Viceroy?
Oh guys, look, all my ghosts of the past have come back to haunt me. It's the Boise Boys coming in to crash the party. Anything to save your spot here in KPW, just like in the territories before. Couldn't save your tag title, so now you bother somebody else. Couldn't save your contracts across the pond, so you wind up here. Couldn't save your marriage, cause the man of the group is too busy doing all your heavy lifting for you.
Shut your damn mouth. You bring up my wife again, and you'll be flossing your teeth with the laces of my boots. I'm a two-time KPW Tag Team Champion. I'm the runner-up of the 2024 Golden Gauntlet match. You should be thanking Pierre because if he didn't call dibs the night he bested me, that title would be around my waist right now. This would have been my record-setting championship reign. And I'm gonna prove it to the world when that bell rings, and you and I are standing across this ring from one another. You might be a record setter. Who better to put this tyrant out of his misery than the record breaker, David Rush?
Well, it's clear that you wanted to step up to the Viceroy, so here's what I'll do just because you and I have history together. In the main event, it'll be Jedi versus David Rush. If you can do the impossible and actually beat me, I'll give you the next crack at this World Heavyweight Championship at Riot Act.
It's a hell of a deal there from the Viceroy.
You know, I'd be down to beat your ass any night of the week. But I'm not gonna do it in this dump of a city.
Volatile reaction here from the Kumite faithful.
I'll gladly fight you in Idaho if you can find it on a map. So, I'll get back to you next week in the Kumite Pavilion. Better yet, let me be your tour guide. Get you over there first class.
The hell is he talking about here? David Rush launching a sneak attack on the Viceroy, but Jedi was well prepared for this. So much history between these two parties here, leading from one territory over into the next here. These two don't even want to wait until tonight's main event to slug it out. KPW Board of Directors officially confirming tonight's main event for War Zone Anniversary. Our record-setting World Heavyweight Champion, the Viceroy Jedi, goes one-on-one against the record breaker, one half of the Boise Boys, David Rush. But first we gotta get some control of this ring here. Might be putting this to bed early. David Rush might not even make it to the main event here tonight. Jedi has found a new purpose here as the World Heavyweight Champion. A vindicated man. After all the months of scrutiny, all the months of needless controversy, it is him taking the initiative as the World Heavyweight Champion, throwing down the challenge, continuing his conquest to run it all, just like he did before. As Jedi returns up the ramp here, he's bumping shoulders with one hell of a man there, the 300-pound misfit, Bob. One half of the KPW Tag Team Champions, him and Tape, went the distance against the Bam Bus last Saturday night at Spring Stampede, going nearly 40 minutes in bell-to-bell action. A former double champion, Bob is well equipped to take on any sort of challenge here in KPW. And I think he's gonna find quite a serviceable challenge here tonight in the Pitbull K-Dog as they engage in a rematch all the way back from Collision Course. Our November monthly special event, a special event that you can catch on the Kumite archives. when we saw these two lock horns before for the KPW Twitch Championship. It was the 300-pound misfit Bob emerging victorious that night. And after the past 40 minutes of battle, waging war against the Bambus, Bob's gonna need to do everything in his power to conserve some of that energy. Because the Pitbull K-Dog, he's gonna jump on top of the misfit here tonight. Bob doing a good job of guarding the ringside area here tonight, keeping K-Dog out of the ring per se. Bob going up top here, unusual territory for a man that size. K-Dog was able to duck that flying clothesline down to the floor there. And for any ordinary competitor, that would have been enough to put away and shift the course of this bout. K-Dog has been on a nasty streak of luck lately, especially since Destiny all the way back in February, where he was the man that ate the pin that night against Jedi and the Heartthrob Popo in triple threat action. He would continue to find zero luck whatsoever, not even in the 2025 lethal lottery match over the course of the weekend. $14 count from Slap Thigh Jones. High fetch chop. An exchange of blows between Bob and K-Dog. Irish whip from one corner to the other. Big boot into the corner. Foot meeting face. As Bob collides with K-Dog here. Release German suplex. Clothesline counter from the misfit. Waist lock tie up here. Sidewalk slam. And K-Dog is away from the ropes here. This could be it. And K-Dog gets the shoulder up. Bob doesn't even realize that that wasn't a 3 count. He was busy celebrating his victory a bit prematurely there. K-Dog with a chicken wing suplex, bridging into the pinfall. But Bob was able to reach the ropes with relative ease. That large stature, the height advantage, the weight advantage, playing perfectly into Bob's advantage here tonight. Opportunities given to him by his size and physique, allowing him to make easier attempts of reaching the ropes, requiring more force to be held down during pinfalls. Another released German suplex. K-Dog got sent halfway across the damn ring that time. K-Dog backed into a proverbial and literal corner there for just a second. Springboard back elbow, but Bob's still on his feet here. Bob goes for the haymaker, but K-Dog counters it into an armbar, and just like we said before, Bob's stature allowing him to get closer to the ropes quicker and with more ease. K-Dog going for a dragon suplex here, 1 count. Big clothesline from Bob. Dragon screw counter from K-Dog. K-Dog's gonna need to do whatever he can to shift the tides of this bout here. Spear from Bob to K-Dog, and K-Dog's right back up here. How much adrenaline does K-Dog have left in him? Is all of this juice here tonight worth the squeeze? Bob singling out the legs of K-Dog. That striking ability, those leg strikes that K-Dog favors so much going into the past several months of his career here in KPW. Those big support beams that K-Dog is gonna need to lift Bob up for the Riz Crusher. I'm giving K-Dog no room to breathe here. Bob running the ropes, however. Big plancha down to the floor, but K-Dog rolls out of it. And Bob is just right on the attack. He's just been operating completely fresh here tonight. Bob is just this absolute beast of a man, an absolute monster. He didn't get Bobby 2 belts without any reason to back it here. We've seen the destruction that he could create week in and week out, month in and month out. We even saw the way that Bob was looking at our World Heavyweight Champion, the Viceroy Jedi, as he was making his way back up the aisle here tonight in the Kumite Coliseum. Overhead shot to the chest, taking down K-Dog. The action spills to the outside once again here. Anytime that K-Dog mounts up some sort of comeback, any sort of high-risk offense here, Bob has been right there to cut off the flow, cut off the circulation of the pit bull. I think the 2025 Lethal Lottery match is weighing heavy on Bob, as he was just patrolling that domain in the first minute or so of this bout. Running big boot to the side of the head of K-Dog, trying to snap his neck there. Cover. And another kick out from the pit bull. K-Dog's got a lot of heart, this fiery youngster. Big power slam from Bob to K-Dog. Irish whip into the ropes here. Pendulum swing from one half of the tag team champions. Bob looking to put this away here. The Misfit sizing up his opponent here. He calls this choke slam the last caress. Drilling him into the center of the ring here. Hooking the leg for extra leverage, and K-Dog has been put away. From the moment the bell rang, the pit bull was crated in. He was put to the side. The Misfit Bob marching with intent, making his intent very well clear here, especially from the way that we saw him look at our World Heavyweight Champion. Seems after the events of Spring Stampede, many individuals have their eyes set on the Viceroy. Many targets painted over the line of the Viceroy here. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because in the main event of Warzone Anniversary tonight, we'll be seeing the Viceroy in singles action. Our World Heavyweight Champion, as Jedi goes one-on-one with one half of the Boise Boys. The record breaker, David Rush. But coming up next, speaking of tag teams, we'll be seeing the First Nation, Slarty, Shuko, take on the Connection in tag team action. The Sauce, Jim Ross. Two men that have been joined at the hip from the moment that KPW even founded. Compare that with the plight of the First Nation that we've seen over the course of the past month. Spring Stampede was not a night that either member of the First Nation wants to remember. Slarty ultimately falling short twice at the Stampede, making it all the way to the final two in Lethal Lottery, coming just short to the Blue Chipper, Bam Dardino, a man that is entitled to a World Heavyweight Championship match at any point of his choosing from April 1st to December 31st. Not to mention, even with the assistance of Sigma Shuko at ringside, Slarty was not able to put away the Siberian Silver Bear Pando in singles action on Saturday night. Maybe a safe assumption to make that the First Nation have been going through one hell of a rough patch. And marching down to the ring, not even waiting for his tag team partner, Jim Ross, a man that knows nothing but hard times. An outcast, a throwaway. Appropriately, a misfit of his own here in KPW. Just 1 year ago, the sky was the limit for this man. There is a point in time where the Kumite faithful believed that he could do no wrong. Jim Ross was so heavily scrutinized, exposed going into that spring. But as one legend fell, another rose from the ashes like a phoenix. His tag team partner, the Rhinestone Cowboy, the Sauce. All four of these men marching down to the ring here tonight with some ill intent, hoping to rectify the losses that they've suffered through, not just in the course of the previous year, but also last Saturday night at Spring Stampede. The Sauce was nowhere close to a lucky man. Entering first in the 2025 Lethal Lottery, being eliminated by one of his longtime arch rivals, the Heartthrob Popo, in that bout. We also go on to compete in the Four Corners bout for the KPW Twitch Championship on Saturday night, where he was the first man eliminated from that bout. Tonight is a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It is year 2 of KPW, and the Sauce wants to plant his feet in the soil here at the expense of the First Nation. Exchange of blows between the Sauce and Slarty. I do not believe we have seen these two men in singles action against one another. in the history of KPW. Big lariat from Slarty. Jim Ross saving his tag team partner. Slarty in uncharted waters here. He's in the corner of the connection. Sauce trying to keep Slarty away from his tag team partner, the fresher half, the quicker, the more agile half of the First Nation, the mastermind, Sigma Shuko. Man, that's been chasing that career-defining victory for quite some time now. Boiling through the summer of 2024, all the way through the autumn, the winter, and now the spring of 2025. Sigma Shuko has yet to find a jackpot here in KPW. But what he does hold is some leverage over our reigning defending KPW Hardcore champion, Corey Sinclair. As Shuko tags in. Shuko entitled to a championship rematch against Corey Sinclair, defeating him in non-title action almost a full month ago. Shuko was opting to not use his hardcore championship match at Spring Stampede. He was going to take his luck at Lethal Lottery, but he was never able to make it to the ring last Saturday night. Slarty fending off both members of the connection. The Sauce returning to the ring. It looked like Shuko was gonna go for a spear on the Sauce. The Sauce sideswiped him, and down goes Shuko to the floor. Crash and burn goes the First Nation. They are hoping to turn things around here in KPW. World Championship matches snatched from underneath them. Tag team championship matches, bringing them so close and yet so far away from victory. Sauce going low on Shuko there. A strike below the belt. Sauce sizing up Shuko here. Looking for the rockabye on Shuko, planting him into the mat, hooking the leg, and a kick out at one. We knew going into tonight's tag team action that Shuko was the freshest man of the four, a man that didn't even have the opportunity to compete at Spring Stampede last Saturday night. But Shuko's opportunity is presented in front of him now. This is the chance for him to make year two much stronger than year one. Jim Ross tries to gouge the eyes out of the mastermind Shuko. After all this plight that the First Nation has incurred over the past several months here in KPW, Slarty has to be seriously doubting the integrity of his tag team partner here in Sigma Shuko. They came in with the intention, the goal to run down the tag team division, run down all of KPW and reshape it in their image. For one reason or another, they've just come so close to their goal before it gets snatched away from them. But Slarty and Shuko, they love a good fight. Nothing could ever take that away from them. Nothing could ever take their pride away from them. Count of 15 here. Count of 17 here. Jim Ross having to return to the ring here. Ross the legal man, Shuko the legal man. Overpowering that double underhook suplex. Lateral press cover. 1, 2. And Shuko gets the shoulder up. Knife edge chop, sending Jim Ross over the top and down to the floor. Snapmare from Jim Ross to Sigma Shuko. Now he's trying to isolate that left shoulder of Shuko. Trying to cut off the blood circulation, trying to cut off any kind of flow into the arms of Shuko, make it tougher for him to lock in that line tamer. Irish whip reversal from Shuko, an opportunity to shift the tides of this bout away from the connection and back to the First Nation. And the Sauce just right back on top of things. Just cutting off that momentum from Shuko once again. And Shuko needs to get towards his tag team partner here. He needs to make that critical tag to Slarty, and Slarty's the legal man now. And Slarty is just rapid firing off those chops to the chest of the Sauce here. Lion Tamer locked in on the Sauce now. And ladies and gentlemen, if you were just joining us, welcome to War Zone Anniversary, episode 53 of their premiere wrestling show across all the internet. KPW War Zone. Earlier tonight, we saw Bob go one-on-one against K-Dog as Bob picked up a crushing victory over the Pitbull. You're commencing tag team action here tonight with the First Nation, Slarty and Shuko on the left, going up against the Sauce and Jim Ross, the connection in the right-hand corner. Later on tonight, we'll be seeing Big Bernard go one-on-one against Solo. Hoss fights still to come. We'll also be seeing the KPW Twitch champion Popcorn Poppy in action against Greek Machismo, Nick Flawless. And of course, our main event of the evening, non-title action, our World Heavyweight Champion Jedi will be going one-on-one against one half of the Boise Boys, the record breaker David Rush. Count of 16, the action needing to return inside the ring here. Tandem offense from the First Nation, a moonsault taking out Jim Ross on the outside. Knee strike on the inside from Slarty to the Sauce here. Big head of steam on that clothesline. Tag made to Shuko, tag made to Jim Ross. Drop toe hold from Shuko, using Jim Ross's momentum and aggression against him. And I'm sure in the back of the mind of both members of the First Nation, line salt from Shuko to Jim Ross. They're thinking in the back of their minds, where is the Siberian silver bear Pando? A man that has been hungry, a man that has been starving for competition ever since his arrival here in KPW. Never on an empty stomach, never bloating in competition. Pando seeks more competition, and I think we're gonna get more of that as I'm receiving word from the board of directors here, next week on Warzone, we will be seeing Pando in action against Sigma Shuko of the First Nation. He knew just 2 weeks ago that when Pando launched that attack on Slarty, he knew that he was going to get his hands on Shuko somewhere down the line as well. And while Shuko would love to cash in that hardcore championship bout, while he would like to make the most out of that opportunity, first he has one hell of a monster to overcome, as next week he'll be going one-on-one against Pando on Warzone. Big head of steam, another big clothesline from the sauce to Shuko here. Slarty making the critical tag, keeping things fresh for the First Nation. Open palm strike attempt by the War Machine. Slarty, an overhead chop to the head, to the sauce, and Slarty's tapped out the Rhinestone Cowboy. The First Nation pick up the first victory in quite some time. This is exactly the sort of momentum shift that the First Nation needed, in case they felt a bit of a lack of motivation over the course of the past week or two, incurring those massive losses to Pando at Spring Stampede. In the case of Slarty, in the case of Shuko, not even making it to Lethal Lottery. Shuko locked in. He's ready more than ever, I'd say, for the fight of his life next week. Shuko and Slarty embracing, sharing the fruits of their labor here tonight. Congratulations to the First Nation for a stunning victory here tonight in tag team action. And coming up next, singles action starring the KPW Twitch champion, the newly crowned Twitch champion, Popcorn Poppy, as he goes one-on-one against Greek Machismo, Nick Flawless. Nick Flawless has been chasing KPW Twitch Championship glory ever since the fall. Constantly in the hunt, constantly trying to make a name for himself. And Nick Flawless put up quite a good run last Saturday night in Spring Stampede at the Lethal Lottery match. A match that you can find on demand on the archive channels. As part of our longest ever event, Spring Stampede 2025, a rousing success courtesy of the Kumite faithful, and we here at KPW thank you all very much for your continued support year in and year out. Popcorn Poppy marching with a purpose. The now two-time KPW Twitch champion, hoping to make this reign longer than the previous one. A notably short championship reign for Popcorn Poppy, winning the Twitch championship at our previous War Zone special event. The Congressional Clash all the way back at Labor Day. And holding on to the belt for the remainder of the month before losing it to the aforementioned Slarty. Set out pile driver from Popcorn Poppy to Nick Flawless. Greek Machismo back towards the ropes here. Getting his head bashed into the ring post now. Double axe handle from Popcorn Poppy to Nick Flawless. The champion, our newly crowned Twitch champion, in control of the bout here tonight. And speaking of the Twitch champions, the previous KPW Twitch champion, Pierre Cinema, albeit not in the building here tonight. We'll be hearing from him next week on Warzone as we move to the Kumite Pavilion. Ahead of our next monthly special event, Riot Act, April 26th, 9/8 Central here on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. Big knee lift from Greek Machismo. Nick Flawless in the blue, Popcorn Poppy in the green. It is the champion's prerogative to make a strong first impression now that he's regained the gold. Popcorn Poppy going low on Nick Flawless. Nick Flawless reciprocating that strike with a shot below the belt himself. Wrist lock. Dropping the elbow into that shoulder blade of Popcorn Poppy, trying to isolate any region of the body that he can for a potential weak point. And Popcorn Poppy in that Four Corners bout last Saturday night, putting up a monstrous performance, taking out the sauce first, moving his attention to the director, Steven Gilberg, and then finally closing in on Pierre Cinema to win the championship. Three of the finest members of the KPW Twitch division already taken down by our new Twitch champion, Popcorn Poppy. Who's gonna be able to step up to the plate against this man? Popcorn Poppy, Nick Flawless meeting in the middle, colliding with each other in midair there. Sit out pile driver from Popcorn Poppy to Nick Flawless. Snap DDT from the Twitch champion. Power and elbow tie up. Irish whip into the ropes. Drop kick sending Nick Flawless through the ropes. Popcorn Poppy looking to go for a second drop kick, but Nick Flawless ducked his head and used that opportunity to get right back in the ropes and into the ring once again. Popcorn Poppy trying to single out the ankle of Nick Flawless here. And many would describe Greek Machismo, Nick Flawless, as a spry spring chicken here in KPW, needing all that leaping ability, that athleticism for him to connect with one of the most beautiful moves I've ever seen in the history of this business, the flawless elbow. You'll never see anybody descend from the turnbuckle with such grace and with such destruction. Lateral press cover, and Popcorn Poppy puts away Nick Flawless. A DDT into the corner of the ring there, folding up Nick Flawless into the turnbuckles. crunching him, compressing him with nowhere else to go but down for Greek Machismo. Popcorn Poppy wasting no time, putting the entire Twitch division on notice. Popcorn Poppy continuing that lucky streak, continuing that wave of momentum that he's picked up on since the beginning of the year. While he was ultimately came up short twice against the Sauce, maybe even 3 times, my memory serves me correctly. You know, he came up short in the barbed wire brawl. At the end of the day, he gets one step ahead of the competition. He rises to the occasion. And sometimes the best measure of revenge is continued success. And Popcorn Poppy has overwhelmingly succeeded here tonight. Congratulations to the KPW Twitch champion.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us.
And coming up next, Hoss fight to come, as the Scrapyard Saint solo takes on the 300-pound woolly mammoth, one half of the Influence, a group that is in absolute peril right now, absolute shambles, with nobody really knowing what the status of the Influence is here. The woolly mammoth, Big Bernard, he might, who knows if he's gonna have to go it alone from here on out. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right down to ringside. Let's get some more Hoss fights here in this anniversary weekend of KPW. Solo's got quite the bone to pick here tonight. The Scrapyard Saint being the first man eliminated from Lethal Lottery on Saturday night. Largely unsuccessful in his conquests to become world champion, to become hardcore champion over the course of the previous year. Almost missing half of the year due to concussion protocols. But a man that's been enjoying the fruits of his labor, being flanked by Headband Tommy Tanks for the first time in quite a while. Big Bernard, a former KPW Tag Team Champion, a former KPW Hardcore Champion. A man that competed in one of the most infamous KPW bouts of all time, that triple threat Meat Madness bout all the way back in October, where it was Big Bernard, Papyrus of Chaos Control, and of course the then world heavyweight champion, the 525-pound man beast, excuse me, Chris Billy. Laying it all out on the line for 30 minutes straight. Certainly a night that we will never forget here in KPW history, as Big Bernard aims to create more memorable moments here in KPW. Aims to break out even further into 2025. Few individuals scored as many eliminations in Lethal Lottery on Saturday night as Big Bernard. Big Bernard went the distance. I don't think anybody lasted longer in Lethal Lottery on Saturday night than Big Bernard. Double underhook suplex. Big Bernard wasting no time with the Scrapyard Saint. He might be putting away the Scrapyard Saint quite early here. Solo going for those knife edge chops, throwing out those spinning heel kicks. A man the size of Solo, a man the stature and build of Solo, surprisingly flexible here. And Zagiri to the back of the neck of Big Bernard. And we've seen Solo pick up some massive victories here in KPW in the past year. There's nothing that a man like Solo would love more than to ascend to the top of the mountains, get to the top of that totem pole, and eventually become world heavyweight champion. But he's got one hell of a climb to make here in 2025. And first, before he could get any further in the world title scene, in the hardcore title scene, if he wants a chance at any sort of championship gold anytime soon, he has to put away and put out to pasture the 300-pound woolly mammoth, Big Bernard. Snapmare from Solo. Big Bernard back up on his feet. Club to the back of Solo, knocking him down here. Leg drop from the second rope here from Big Bernard. Knife edge chop to the chest. With Big Bernard, you can bury a hand in that ghillie suit of a chest. Abdominal stretch from the big man. So we're gonna be able to reach the ropes, and he makes it with his foot. Forearm smash from Solo to Big Bernard. Clubbing clothesline, knocking down Solo. Waistlock tie up. Big Bernard back to the abdominal stretch. Putting Solo's flexibility to the test here tonight. Drop toe hold from Big Bernard. A spinning heel kick from Solo to create some distance here, but Big Bernard closes it relatively quick. Solo's gonna need to regain his composure here. Big Bernard looking for that military press slam here, drilling Solo into the mat here. Cover. And that's ball game for the Scrapyard Saint. You're officially into year 2 of KPW. Is all about making new impressions here. A proverbial clean slate. A refresher before we advance to our next monthly special event, Riot Act, on April 26th. The last Saturday of the month, 9/8 Central, here on the Team Adhesive Broadcasting Network. Where you can see action is thrilling as this heavy-hitting, lightning-quick bout that we've seen here tonight from the likes of Big Bernard and Solo. A hungry roster with everything to prove, with everything to gain. These two slugged it out for bragging rights as Big Bernard walks home tonight with the W. Congratulations to one half of the Influence. Congratulations to the woolly mammoth, Big Bernard. And coming up next, our main event of the evening, as our world heavyweight champion, the Viceroy Jedi, engages in non-title action. A rare War Zone bout for the Viceroy. as he goes one-on-one with an old foe, reigniting a war as all the ghosts of Jedi's past come back to haunt him. One half of the Boise Boys, the record breaker, the former two-time KPW Tag Team Champion, David Rush, aims to pick up a shock victory here tonight and plant himself one step closer to World Championship gold. We found out earlier tonight if David Rush emerges victorious against the Viceroy here tonight, he will be entitled to a World Championship bout at Riot Act in the main event at the very end of the month. But that's enough time for talk. Let's get our way down to ringside with our head official, Slap Thigh Jones. It's not often where you see Jedi leading the charge, breaking championship tradition here. But if there's anything that we've seen out of the Viceroy, he's broken records. He has set the bar high for any world heavyweight champion to follow him. As we approach 156 days of the Viceroy's championship reign. And right there in the cut, right there in the chase, is one half of the Boise Boys, the record breaker, David Rush, in our non-title main event here at War Zone Anniversary. Last recorded bout that these two individuals had here in the ring was over 2 years ago. And these two have evolved in all that time away from one another. Viceroy Jedi, of course, carving out his own legacy here in KPW, quite unlike anybody else that I've ever seen in the history of this business. Running forearm smash into the face of the record breaker, David Rush. Jedi feeling a bit froggy here. Suicide dive onto David Rush here. Looking to keep the pressure up on the record breaker, David Rush. A man that won the KPW Tag Team Championships, the inaugural KPW Tag Team Champion at that as well. Jedi singling out Hollywood Hannon for old time's sake here. Down to 15. Reverse armbar from the Viceroy Jedi. David Rush frantically reaching the ropes with his foot there. Swinging haymaker from the Viceroy. Suplex reversal from David Rush, sending Jedi over the top rope and down to the floor at such a vicious, at such a high angle there. It is a miracle we didn't see that any sort of disaster unfold. I can't believe it that the World Heavyweight Champion is still walking after a landing like that. Jedi whipping the Boise Boys into one another. You saw the Viceroy go right back to that playbook of his to get inside the mind of his opponents there. We saw him try and put that into action earlier on tonight. Trying to bring up the family of David Rush. Trying to rile up the man, get inside of his head. But if you want to be able to defeat the Viceroy, you have to keep quite a cool head here. Another reverse armbar from the Viceroy, keeping David Rush away from the ropes, using the ropes as leverage to apply extra pressure on the hold. Jedi going up top. Dragon attack down to the floor here. We saw on Saturday night, Spring Stampede, the action between Jedi and Robbie Deuce, that bloody war that we saw unfold in the ring just 48 hours ago in the Kumite Coliseum. Initially go to a double count out before officials demanded the match be restarted. Demand that there will be a winner crowned that night. The Viceroy emerging victorious once again. His 6th successful defense of the KPW World Heavyweight Championship. An absolutely unprecedented run here in the history of this company. Haymaker from the world champion Jedi. David Rush sent into the ropes, but David Rush holds on. But Jedi closing the gap quite quickly, using some of that muscle memory of David Rush against him here. Plancha down to the floor here, and now David Rush is on the defense here. Trying to tuck and cover up however he can here.
11, 12, 13, 14,
Rib breaker from David Rush.
16.
Action returning inside the ring. Irish whip into the ropes here. Jedi looking to meet in the middle with that spinning roundhouse kick. Planting boot to face into the face of the record breaker David Rush here. Brainbuster. Looking for the cover here. 1, 2, good night, David Rush. No! The record breaker, the Boise boy, kicks out once again. Drop suplex from one of the best pound for pound wrestlers here in KPW. One of the most resilient, one of the most versatile men here in KPW. Suplex counter from David Rush here. And he's proven to be quite a formidable challenger to Jedi after all these years away. With how well acquainted these two know each other inside these ropes here. Being able to watch this unfold once again. A really special moment here in time. You never see something like this happen twice. But boy, are we glad that it did. Arm elbow tie up. Shot to the chest, taking down David Rush. Spinning back fist, knocking David Rush through the ropes. Another haymaker taking down David Rush. Jedi's feeling a bit froggy here tonight, utilizing all that aerial offense the only way that he knows how to. And he's been producing some excellent results here tonight as he continues to keep the pressure up on David Rush here. David Rush finding a moment of reprieve there, finding that perfect window to strike. Inside cradle from the Viceroy here. Look at this, steal one. And David Rush's chances of World Heavyweight Championship gold at Riot Act are still intact. Ever since we found out about the culpability of Robbie Deuce. That sick, twisted, conniving bastard, that traitor, that turncoat. The public perception of our world heavyweight champion has shifted nearly overnight here, earning the respect of the Kumite faithful. While he was not the world heavyweight champion that majority wanted in KPW, he's absolutely deserved that position here over the course of the past 5 months. A clothesline from David Rush, dropping a headbutt into the chest of the world champion here. Irish whip reversal. Jedi hanging onto the ropes here, diverting his attention to Hollywood Hannon. Hollywood Hannon trying to throw Jedi back into the ring there. David Rush a long ways away from his tag team partner here. Jedi lifting up the big man, delivering a brainbuster on the floor. Another drop suplex from David Rush. Irish whip into the ropes. Jedi still hanging onto the ropes, still a bit fresh going into this bout. Even after all the wear and tear of Spring Stampede, he's still able to give a fight quite like a world champion should. Jedi clearing the ring once again of David Rush. Jedi running the ropes here, high risk, high reward, and David Rush gets right into the ring as Jedi flies right over him and into the barricade. The world champion is out cold out there on the floor here. David Rush capitalizing with a knee drop from the top down to the floor.
11, 12, 13,
Count of 14 from Slap Thigh Jones. 16 count made in the ring. Jedi with a springboard missile drop kick halfway across the ring, connecting with David Rush. Northern Lights suplex from the world champion. I'm receiving word next week for another edition of Warzone. We'll be seeing K-Dog, the Pitbull, go one-on-one against the role model, one half of the World Tag Team Champions in tape. We'll be seeing the connection in action once again against the Raging Bulls as Mojo Perry has been cleared for action once again. We'll be hearing from Pierre Cinema for the first time since he lost the championship at Spring Stampede. Yellowstone Eruption on the world champion here. This could be nighty night for the world champion. Lights out for Jedi, and no! Jedi's just able to get the shoulder up there. We almost had a confirmed locked-in main event for Riot Act on April 26th. Guy looking for another forearm strike, but David Rush was able to capitalize on that speed, use it to his advantage a bit. Also to come next week on Warzone, we'll be seeing Pando, the Siberian Silver Bear, go one-on-one against the mastermind of the First Nation, Sigma Shuko. We have one hell of a show to bring to you here tonight. Warzone anniversary, celebrating 1 full year of KPW as we march headstrong into year 2 of the home of fighting spirit. Jedi putting the boots to David Rush medium style here tonight. No love lost between these two men. Bashing David Rush's head into the turnbuckle here. Like Jedi was gonna set him up for that torture rack neck breaker. But David Rush ascending to the top. David Rush scouting that forearm strike once again. Second back fist deflected by David Rush. David Rush, in the heat of the moment here, he's looking for some trouble here. Release German suplex into the corner. The champion's folded up like an accordion. We have a Riot Act main event, and no! There is no quit in the Viceroy. That's that fighting spirit. That's that never say die attitude of the World Heavyweight Champion. Is what got him here at the top of the mountain for the past 156 days. A man that's been World Heavyweight Champion since Madhouse all the way back in 2024. Looking to keep his iron fist over the KPW locker room at the expense of David Rush here tonight. Big drop kick from David Rush. Look at this back and forth action that we're seeing here tonight between these two men. 20-minute time limit in effect. "15 minutes on the clock, 5 minutes to go." The pressure is on, and they've been keeping at it from the moment the bell rang. Jedi finally connected with that torture rack neck breaker. Forearm smash from the top rope this time. Switching up that strategy, adapting to the movements, to the abilities of David Rush here. Tilt-a-whirl power slam halfway across the ring. Jedi's looking to go for a frog splash. And it looked like David Rush got the knees up at the last second there. Drop down. Side kick into the sternum of the Viceroy, feeling very relieved that he has that protective top on for his gear here tonight. Back fist countered from David Rush. Overhead strike not countered by the world champion. But not that time. Back fist sending David Rush down to the floor once again. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Forearm strike deflected by David Rush once again. As these two men are so well accustomed to one another's moves, tricks in their bag, their arsenal of attacks. Even after all these years, the animosity, the tension is still high between these two. Haymaker from the world champion. Jedi looking to go for a shoulder breaker. Picking up the record breaker David Rush here. T-bone suplex. Jedi wasting no time this time with a frog splash. Rope break called by Slapthigh Jones. That right foot underneath the bottom rope. An excellent call by our head official here tonight. Jedi looking to set up David Rush definitively here. Pulling him towards the center of the ring here, looking to pick him up for that sledgehammer. Slamming him down into the mat, hooking the leg. Ball game for the champion. Jedi has put David Rush's championship dreams to rest. These two went bell to bell nearly 20 minutes. We nearly reached a time limit draw with a little less than 2 minutes left on the clock there. We almost had our answer here tonight as who will be stepping up to the Viceroy in time for Riot Act. Five long months as the world champion. Going through all the competition. What the hell is this? That's the music of the wild card, Robbie Deuce. And he can't be happy whatsoever about the events of Saturday night. I don't think he's finished. This man has been destined, determined even, to carve out his own legacy at the expense of his former best friend here. Capitalizing on the world champion, a wounded animal in the Viceroy Jedi. As he continues to put the boots to him, waiting until the bout was over to make his move here, Robbie Deuce. As slimy as he's ever been before, as dastardly as he's ever been before. Robbie Deuce trying to introduce some foreign objects to the fight. And it looks like we're getting quite the rerun from last Saturday night here. Spring Stampede, these two are completely inseparable here. These two spilt buckets of blood over one another here. Robbie Deuce and the upper hand, capitalizing on a weakened world heavyweight champion, going below the belt on Jedi. I think he wants round two with the world champion. Jedi struggling to get back up to his feet there after that Snapdragon suplex. Now Robbie Deuce signaling for the end here. Positioning him perfect for that liar's dice here. Center of the ring. And what the hell is this? The lights have gone out in the Kumite Coliseum here. Oh, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? It can't be. Oh my God! It's Ding! Robbie Deuce looks like he's just seen a ghost! The Dinger is back in KPW! Jedi in the corner of the ring there. He's looking on. He can't believe what the hell he's witnessing here. And Robbie Deuce looking to get right back into business, trying to finish what he started back at Madhouse. And Ding going right back to the action, throwing out those dings like he's never stopped here, like it was just yesterday. The icon, the man they call Ding, playing his foot back into the soil. 5 long months in the making, and he's beating the absolute hell out of Robbie Deuce. We never thought we would see this man ever again. We never thought he would even be cleared to wrestle ever again. We had no idea he was still alive. Ding pulling Robbie Deuce center of the ring, showing him how it's really done. The Scorpion Ding drop. And Ding has to be seeing red here tonight. He has moving, marching with a purpose. Ding looking to close in on the wild card Robbie Deuce. Looking to make up for all that lost time. Looking to get even with the man that screwed him out of the World Heavyweight Championship back in Madhouse here. Another ding, well deserved there. A second Scorpion Ding drop. With extra oomph that time. Now he's sending a message, making it personal here with Robbie Deuce. Scorpion Ding lock cinched in deep here. And Robbie Deuce scattering away, pulling himself through the bottom rope there, frantically getting away from the man they called Ding. The foundations of KPW have been shaken to its core here tonight. The Viceroy has been looking for challengers all night here tonight. Ding was the last man that, and the only man that ever picked up a victory against the Viceroy. But one has to wonder, why did he pick now to return? Why is he choosing this time to strike? We're gonna hope to get some words from the icon, the returning Ding, next week on KPW War Zone. And that is all the time we have here, ladies and gentlemen. I have been Tapey Styles, the only man that could call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. Wishing you all a happy anniversary to 1 year of Warzone and another year of fighting spirit to come. Good night, everybody.